Welcome back to Forza Naples. Paul, the boys pulled it off. We said it was going to be a test. They passed the test with flying colors. A 1-0 win against the Charleston Battery of the USL Championship in the first round of the Jägermeister Cup. Are we going to win the Jägermeister Cup this year?
I think it's about time to start thinking that. It's so funny. I think that I got caught up in trying to be realistic and looking at the two teams and not picking us to win. So I apologize to the people listening to this that I had some doubt in the club. It was no disrespect to our lads. It was, maybe giving too much respect to this Charleston side. Um, but a great start, and honestly, how the first set of match day results came in for our group, there's no reason to think we can't get out of this group, winning this group. I think I picked Charleston to win the group. We beat them. Um, we get the Rowdies again, who we've already played, and then we get the Miami squad, and I forget who the League One team we get, but none of the League One teams scare me. So, I think you're going to need probably 9 points to win the group, and we're a third of the way there.
Yeah, third of the way there. Just a really solid performance out of the team as a whole. Backline especially, they took a beating and they cleared everything. Delgado did fantastic as always. We're praising him here every week. A couple great saves, a couple huge saves late on in that second half. Charleston was throwing the kitchen sink at us. It seemed like the whole second half, whole game really. But we're the kind of team where we seem to be taking advantage more and more of our opportunities when they're given to us. And who else but Carson Henderlong just getting in the box and putting away a cross 18 minutes into the match. And then it was just kind of like, okay, let's park the bus and let's defend this. Even though, I think we still had some really good chances in the first half. And then it seemed Charleston came out fired up, and we responded better than they did, in my opinion. Just sitting back and defending. They had two big subs right at halftime, and I think that really changed how the game went in the second half. And we were able to respond, making some changes of our own. Right around the 80th minute, some more defensive-minded changes, and it shored up that back line even more and got out there with all 3 points.
Yeah, and we did have a chance, late in the first half. I thought we could have finished and made it 2-0. And then I think 10 minutes of extra time. Am I mixing up games, or really 10 minutes
10
of
minutes
extra
of
time?
extra time. We played 100+ minutes because we did have assistant coach, I believe it was Zach Gordon, get sent off in like the 108th or the 98th minute or something crazy. So, free Zach Gordon, #free Zach Gordon. Let's get that
And now
trending.
he misses the next match. He misses the next Jägermeister Cup. Is that how that works with coaches?
I don't know if he'd be suspended for the next league match or if he's just suspended for the next Jägermeister Cup match, because I don't think the next cup match is until the end of May, so he could be back on the touchline. I'm not sure if the USL really knows. That was not in their Instagram post about how the tournament works, unfortunately. So we're flying blind, and I haven't been able to find a Jägermeister Cup handbook regarding the rules. But yeah, just a long game. Lots of cramps. It was hot. It seemed like it was just never going to end, or it was just almost like Fergie time for Charleston there, trying to get them an equalizer, and we held strong.
Yeah,
But
and the scared late, Delgado makes a phenomenal save. In the 98-ish, around that time, makes a phenomenal save to keep it 1-0. And time and time again, he's been tested with big shots late in games, and he's been able to keep him out of the net. Forrest just once again continues to not allow goals, and I think our defense is what is going to make us really dangerous in a cup match like this, where you're playing across levels is that I think our defense is good enough to be at the next level. Maybe taking opportunities and finishing isn't quite there yet, but as far as keeping teams from scoring, uh, we've been really good at not letting teams get goals against us.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've seen all the goals that have come against us this year have either been worldies or penalties. We haven't really given up a soft goal yet. And I think that is credit to the back line, credit to the midfield, and then like you said, credit to the Delgado. First half, I think Charleston dominated the possession, but overall, I thought we had the better chances. I wrote down 27th minute, 30th minute, 36th minute, 38th minute, or 41st minute, and 45th minute. We had decent chances, and we're getting in their box, making their keeper make a save. Whether mostly from crosses, and if teams are going to let us get out wide and whip balls into the box, that's just going to be a recipe for success for us all season long. That really seems like our style so far this year, and it's worked wonders so far.
And this, I would not claim to be an expert on Charleston's week in, week out shape and form, but we did see Rubin come
Yeah,
in
came
the
off the
72nd
bench.
minute, and that's a American class football. I don't know, he's not a world class player, but maybe an American class. I don't know if there's a term for that. But a guy that's played in the MLS and is a pretty good international player, and it seems like this was the Charleston squad. It wasn't like we were playing their B team.
Yeah, we saw too Cal Jennings, who used to play for the Rowdies, who's kind of been a staple in the USL Championship. One of the I think he's been named in their teams of the week and team of the team of the year for the USL Championship, kind of a lot throughout his career. And he was pretty quiet all season, to the point of it took me until late in the second half to realize, oh yeah, I forgot he was starting for them. It was kind of surprising how quiet we kept their whole team. I did think we said last week when we were doing the pre-match was, are we going to be able to? Their back line's not the best. We've shown that they can give up goals. Are we going to be able to take advantage? And it seemed like we did, especially in that first half, and then coming out second half, and we knew what we had to do, shut them down, and they executed that to a T. Another game. Yeah, it was the penalty against Knoxville, a penalty or a regular goal to the Rowdies, the worldie from the Richmond Kickers, one from yep, and then one against Sarasota in that first Open Cup match. Yeah, that Sarasota goal too. I remember it just being a mix up, being frustrated in the moment. Thankfully we got out of there with the win, but yeah, not we've not given up a lot of goals, and we've been we've also not scored a ton of goals. In the league, I think we've scored 9 goals total. But and given up, I mean, 9 goals scored, given up 3. So we're not scoring a ton, but we're taking advantage of our opportunities and as they're presented, and finishing our chances that we need to in order to pick up points. So FC Naples currently does last week's game had no effect on the league table, so we're still top of the league, thankfully. And we're also sitting second place currently in the USL Jägermeister Cup Group 6. One spot. We're tied with points with South Georgia Tormenta, but they have scored more goals. They scored 2 goals. They won 2-1 away or at Greenville against Greenville Triumph. So we're currently sitting second, and that could be a potential wild card spot. Like you said, Paul, I think 9 points could get us out of this group. Yeah, to go back to this, to kind of put a bow on our massive 1-0 win against Charleston. Um, a fun game, a game where we really didn't have a lot of possession. I think they had almost three quarters of the possession, 74% possession in the match. But we took advantage. I think we kind of were happy to let them have possession, and then we saw it quite a few times. Like, okay, yeah, you guys have the ball. They make a mistake, and we're on it. We're pouncing. We're putting a counter attack together down the wings, and then playing a ball into the box and making them make mistakes. And I think we're going to see a lot more of that kind of as the year goes on, and this team really does settle in, especially against better sides like Charleston, who are capable of moving the ball around, but we just kind of gave them nothing in that final third. Yeah, right. And I think it kind of starts from, and we've heard Matt Poland say this quite a few times this year, of like your best offense is a good defense. And it does ring true for how this team set up to play, where we've got our whole back line winning balls, winning tackles, and then just playing great balls down the wings to Farine and to Onan, and even you throw Heckenberg in there winning battles in the defensive midfield position, and then just distributing the ball out to these guys who are then able to take on their man, and you kind of catch them out as they're looking to move forward. All of a sudden we've got the ball in two touches, and you've got, you know, Farine or Onan sprinting at you down the touchline looking to play a ball into Henderlong. It's going to set us up for success, I think. And hopefully teams, we've almost played better, I think, without the ball doing this kind of counterattack football. We look back to the one Knoxville game. Knoxville kind of did the opposite and let us have the ball, and not we didn't necessarily struggle, but we didn't look as comfortable as we have in this Charleston game, I thought. So again, Matt, go ahead. Oh, give us your final thoughts then on this massive 1-0 cup win. Yeah, and let's not forget the writers over there at USLLeague1.com who picked us to finish 13th. Um, I don't think they would have had us winning this game 1-0, a gritty 1-0 win, where and just kind of being the better team in most of the games we've played all season. They continue to show up and show out week in and week out, and that's I think that's a good transition too into this weekend's match. We're gonna get some USL League One after dark on the East Coast with a 10:30 p.m. kickoff Eastern. So hopefully you're willing to stay up late with us, as FC Naples heads out west to take on AV Alta, who's another expansion side this year. It seems like they've drawn really well. I did see they had some sort of cowboy and a horse ride out before their game, so that's pretty cool. But they'll be heading out to AV Alta, Lancaster, California, just outside of LA, it looks like, for a Saturday night kickoff. Paul, what are you thinking about this match? Yeah, like you said, the thing that caught my eye was they've given up 9 goals this year. And they're coming off their last league match was a 2-1 home loss against Spokane. But before that, they did get big wins against Chattanooga. They did get a big win against Westchester. They beat LAFC 2 in the Open Cup. Um, they've kind of been playing well. Beat Orange County in the Open Cup to advance, like you said. But then yeah, lost to Sacramento Republic 1-0. So no, their goal scoring has kind of dropped off recently. So not sure what to expect there. But I think this team, I'd like to see us, take advantage of the counterattack like we talked about against Charleston, beat them with our pace down the wings, and kind of just take it to them. Get a couple goals, and then be able to sit back and defend. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And then just if we could get a couple, like you said, in the first half, and then just be like, okay, this game's a wash. Let's move on to FC Dallas in the Open Cup, try and beat an MLS side. They're kind of facing what we've faced the past couple weeks with all this fixture congestion, all back to back. I mean, going Saturday, Wednesdays is super tough. And I mean, we saw that with our loss against One Knoxville. It was just some tired legs out there. So I do think they're definitely a beatable game. And don't forget FC Naples undefeated in the Pacific time zone this season. In the club's history, have never lost in the Pacific time zone. Knock on wood. Hopefully, I didn't just jinx us. But important stats here that we're bringing you on the Forza Naples pod. Yeah, I know the game's at Las Vegas, and I think Las Vegas shares their stadium with the minor league baseball team. So I'm not sure if that has anything to do with it, but it is the only Jägermeister Cup game this week. So it is a bit odd. Because they're an expansion team this season as well, so this is their first season as well. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I hope so. It definitely seems like it's another game that's there for the taking, but also another challenging game. They seem like they're a good team, like you said. They can score. They've given up a lot of goals though, so gonna be interesting. Another player to watch out for. He's not featured, I believe, since April, like the April 15th mark. But Joaquin Acuna, local guy, went to University of North Florida, but local product, local Naples player, played high school soccer here. Someone to watch out for. Maybe he's gonna get the start against his hometown team out there playing for AV Alta. Just another fun stat that you can only get here on the Forza Naples podcast. Yes. It is my pride to bring, my USL League One facts and stats, whether it be geography stats or geography information about which Portland, Portland, Maine, or Portland, Oregon, Portland Hearts of Pine play in, or hometowns of random players on AV Alta. I'm more than happy to do it. Oh yes, this is how I spend most of my days, is just finding USL League One stats right now. So when I have more time, imagine the additional stats I'll be able to bring. Um, this is where I'm torn, because I can either see it being like the Charleston match of a 1-0, or maybe even like the Richmond match a couple weeks ago, where it'd be 2-1. We get two early goals first half, kind of sit back. Maybe they get one, maybe they don't. 2-1, 2-0. But we get out of there with all 3 points. Or I could see this kind of being like the Texoma game, where we just, are the better team throughout. I do think AV Alta is better than Texoma. I think Texoma is going to have a long season ahead of them. But I could also see us, making our set pieces dangerous and scoring off of them, because the little bit I have looked up of AV Alta, they seem a little shaky on their set pieces. So I mean, maybe we do get out of there with a 3-0, 4-1 win. But I'm kind of leaning more towards that 2-0, 2-1 in favor of FC Naples. Of course, I'm not going to pick against them. We've already got egg on our face enough for picking Charleston to win the Jägermeister Cup group. Okay. I like that. I really like that prediction. Bold, a lot more bold of a prediction than mine. But I'm digging it. It's well Saturday could be a great day of USL League One action because you've like I don't think I'm gonna leave my couch from 6 p.m. until you know 12:30, 12:45 when our games end in the morning. No, I'll go to bed eventually, but you've got a Ford Madison. I might end up sleeping on the couch. You're absolutely right. But we've got Ford Madison and Union Omaha kicking off at 6. Texoma Charlotte Independence. That one might be skippable. Might have to see what hockey's on at 8. Even though my Lightning got eliminated tonight. And then 10:30 AV Alta FC Naples. Make sure the kids are in bed for this one. Gonna be intense. Little USL League One after dark. I think Mountain might have you beat there. I'm a big Mountain time zone for yeah. That is a I like the idea of 5 o'clock. You get out of work a little earlier, 5 o'clock for those 7 o'clock start times in the Mountain time zone. But maybe that's just me. I'm also an early person. Pro tip: if you are on the East Coast like me, I think espresso martinis are the way to go. Leading up to kickoff, because that it'll help you, give you a little jolt, get you through the 90 minutes at 10:30 p.m. Oh, absolutely. We've been breaking down time zones. We've given you some USL League One stats and facts, and now tips to stay up late, while also getting a little pregame buzz, to then watch a game on ESPN Plus on your couch. Unless you're making the trip, if anyone's making the trip, more power to you. And I hope you're listening to this podcast on the plane out there. Yes, please get in touch with us if you're making the trip out there. We want to hear from you, and also hear, reading about their stadium, because I did, as you've probably figured out by now, I'm a little bit of a USL League One sicko, so I have stayed up to watch, or at least fallen asleep watching some of AV Alta's games, and they've got a really nice stadium, but it's clearly a baseball diamond that's kind of been repurposed for a soccer stadium, but it's not one of those where they've put the like regrassed the infield just temporarily. Like it's not a minor league baseball stadium anymore. Like it had a full soccer stadium, something. But the city of Lancaster spent $17 million to convert their old baseball stadium to a 5,300 seater soccer specific stadium. So, might be a little intense there to for our boys to go out there and play, but they're used to playing in front of our big crowds in Paradise, so shouldn't be anything there. That's a really good question, and I'm gonna let's figure this out. Yeah, because it is a big stadium, and it's yeah, a little over 4,000 against Spokane, and then when the Westchester, that I think was the home opener for them too. No, no, yeah. So they're in there, but our boys got it. We'll send those 4,000 plus fans home disappointed, no doubt about that. Well, Paul, any other final thoughts before we go? Yeah, another just get out there, get more points. That's kind of been our motto all year on this podcast. Has just been keep picking up points. We just need to keep getting points, especially 3 points better than one. And keep doing that, and we'll keep staying top of the league. Yeah, we've got all these games in hand, but right, more points are better. That's some more financial. More money is better. For your books. Um, most of the time. But yeah, keep picking up points. We've got this large game, all these games in hand right now, and if we keep winning, we're putting the pressure on everyone else to keep winning as well. And someone, I think these teams are all going to start dropping points as we kind of get into the middle of the season. Teams start figuring each other out. So let's keep racking up the 3 points. Well, I think that is going to do it for this episode. We'll be back to recap our second trip out west after AV Alta next week. Paul, I'll let you go become one with nature again, as you are. I know no one can see this because I finally figured out how to turn the video off of this podcast, so you don't have to see our faces while you listen to us. But I'll let you go. Paul is recording outside because he's that dedicated. And I think he's got a nice night there in Louisiana. But thank you so much for listening, and we will talk to you all soon. Come on, Naples.